respect for our country, the American flag, and the men and women who fought to preserve our freedom, we ask that you stand at attention with your hand placed across your heart as we play the national anthem. Thank you.
Should be a wonderful night for football. The field's in nice shape. It hasn't rained for a while, so it's pretty dry out there. But these Tigers are they're on a roll, Spike. They're 4-1. They've beaten a couple of tough opponents, and this one should be just a little bit easier. You don't want to look past anybody. I mean, Swanton years and years ago has been pretty tough, but they've been on hard times here lately, and this appears to be a very youthful Swanton team. So Tigers need to work on some things and keep building for the future here.
Yep. Well, our focus will be on Liberty Center tonight, of course, with all that, with Jim being said there. The Tigers, you know, they come off that really tough loss from a physical standpoint, but much more so from a mental standpoint against our friends to the south, the Patrick Henry Patriots. And you know, you have to dig down deep. When you've got a team coming up the following week like the Wauseon Indians, who every year perhaps have the biggest team in the league, the most physical team in the league, you have to be ready, physically of course, but absolutely mentally ready to take on that kind of pressure and that kind of challenge.
Spike, they were picked toward the top. The Wauseon Indians were picked, I believe, second in the league.
Yep. And the Tigers, with their tenacity and with their playing 4 quarters, 48 minutes, pulled out a huge victory. Now, Liberty Center ranked 8th in the computer polls. They're back in the hunt for the NWOAL title chase. Jimmy, everything's rounding into shape here.
Yeah, go, sorry.
No, it just don't get no better than this. This is Liberty Center. This is the Mecca for Northwest Ohio football. I don't care where you're from, where you go. There is not a more beautiful setting than right here in Tiger Town.
Absolutely.
All right, line drive kick, taken, bobbled, and still banged around, picked up at the 15-yard line. And let's see.
Number 8 got there. Also number 51, Alan Sharp. Number 8 being Chad McClory.
All right.
62 had a piece of him almost there. That would be Brandon Stacy. Clean uniforms out there, Spike.
Yep. All
Well,
right.
it's homecoming night, you know.
Yeah, they're looking good.
They are.
Resplendent, if you will, in their black jerseys, white pants. Bulldogs with purple pants, white jersey, come to the line of scrimmage. They show the I formation, wide out to either side. Tigers with 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and 10 men near the line of scrimmage. Give off that left side, nothing doing there. Loss of a couple, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's right. That whole right side over there just plain said, I don't think so. Chad McClory getting up from the bottom. Also, Perchlick, number 41, getting up there from the bottom of that.
All right, we'll try to set the Tigers' defense quickly. The nose guard is Chad McClory, number 8. The defensive tackles are number 88, Quigley on the left. Brandon Neff, number 74, the right defensive tackle. All right, now a little bit different set. 2 wide receivers out to this way. The little draw play off the left side. He's got running room up across the 20-yard line and up to about the 22.
27, Joe Bodenbender on the stop there.
All right.
88, also Adam Quigley.
Linebackers for the Tigers. We've got Purdue and Bodenbender, the outside linebackers, number 9 and number 27 respectively. Inside linebackers, Sharp, number 51, and Perchlick, number 41. Defensive backs, Andy Speece, Hefflinger, Danny Irving, and Damian Mays. Brian Bush will see a lot of action on defense tonight too. All right, 3rd down and about 6. Opening series of the game, back to throw. He's gonna go deep, he's got a man. Oh, just out of the fingertips. Wow, Jimmy, that was 1st down yardage and more up near the 50-yard line.
Yeah, that was Dan Irving on the coverage there. Andy Speece might have been his man right there, but as he pivoted to see where the ball was, he lost his footing out there. So, yeah, the Tigers kind of dodged a bullet there.
Well, you know, and I think, I'm not so sure that's how Swanton had it set up. The guy cut it off short, the one receiver, and that kind of lopsided the Tigers' 2 defenders a little. But it's 4th down. 6 yards to go from the 21, and it's an end-over-end punt that'll hit just on the other side of the 50-yard line, the Liberty side, and roll out of bounds.
Yeah, about to 43, I think, Spike. The
Okay.
Tigers 43-yard line. So a good defensive series. Tigers took care of business there and forced 3 and out.
Yeah, and you know what? Liberty always, if they have the option, they'll defer the ball. But, you know, their defense has played really well this year.
They really
have,
yeah.
and it's a good thing. You know, they hope to hold the team back, and now look at this great field position at the 46-yard line.
Yeah.
Unofficially, 33 yards on the punt. So the Tigers take over. They've got motion coming this way with Perchlick. He's going to take the handoff, bottled up in the backfield, and finally spun down. We've got a flag on the play. Jim, could that have been a face mask?
I think so, perhaps. Numerous flags come in right there at the end. That's usually when they see something like that.
Yeah, the timing was such and the direction of the flags was such that that's probably the call. It on the play itself, it was a loss of a yard. The Tigers had a student body sweep coming this way.
We're going to call that against the Tigers?
Well, he's not pointing the right way,
I
is he?
see that.
Stinking rotten, no good yellow flag
Yeah,
on the first play from scrimmage.
He's stepping them off against the Tigers, and it's a big one, Spike.
Yeah, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So the Tigers will be faced with the 1st and we'll call it 21 yards to go. Liberty needs to get the ball to the Swanton 44-yard line. Now the Tigers line up with a single setback. I believe that's Brandon Reed back there. Reed to take the handoff off the right side inside, and Swanton swarming to the ball. Very little gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that is Reed according to his jersey, but that's not listed in the program, Spike.
Yeah, that's
number
the one.
26 there.
Yeah, that's the number that.
Yeah.
That number didn't get listed before, but that is Brandon Reed, number 26. Jake Elling out for 2 weeks right now with thumb problems. Tigers now, they fake it to Perchlik. Brown rolling right, has time, sets up, fires out there. Mays couldn't hang on at the 45, but a defender was there immediately, and they'd have been held to less than 10. Now Liberty Center facing a 3rd and 21.
Yeah, from our vantage point, it appeared as though Patrick Brown was perhaps on target, but the defender right there in Damian Mays' line of sight also. And anyway, the pass incomplete. Still 3rd and 20, as you say, Spike.
All right. Quickly, the offensive line for Liberty, number 62, Brandon Stacy, the center. Guards, Gene Zinn, 59, and number 51, Alan Sharp. 58, Phil Miller, a tackle. Number 76, Andrew Schwab, the other tackle. Now Brown, straight drop, fires well upfield, just out of the outstretched paws of Danny Irving, a prolific receiver for Liberty Center, and that will bring up 4th and a bunch.
Yeah, you know, the offensive line created a fairly nice pocket there for Patrick Brown to let that play kind of mature a little bit. And that was one of the things that the head coach said on the radio this week, Spike, was that he wanted the Tiger offensive line to, develop some polish and show some good execution.
All right, back to punt, Jacob Howard, number 20. Good snap, gets off a high wobbler, and it's going to be short. It's going to hit at about the 41, take a great Tiger bounce, about a dozen yards or better, and it'll go down to right all the way back to Swanton's 28-yard line. 36-yard punt, Jim, with a nice roll.
Oh, that roll needed to work for the Tigers because he did, I don't know whether you call it a shank, but he mishit that. And, man, we've seen over the earlier part of the season, Jacob Howard really hit some boomers.
Yeah, oh, yes.
But that was not one of them.
Jacob doing a good job also on defense for Liberty. We'll see him in there, too.
Yeah, you
along
talk about
the way.
The Tiger defense. Last week against Wauseon, that defense got tough when it needed to. And, of course, the previous week against Patrick Henry, they just stuck to those receivers like glue in the secondary. And the men on the line pretty much were able to neutralize any offensive thrust at them.
All right, now Swanton Bulldogs take over at their own 28-yard line. They put out 2 wide receivers close together on this near side of the field. Single setback with the quarterback. High snap, they fake the draw. Now Gustafson on a sprint. He's got some running room up the sideline. And Patrick Irving throws him. Danny Irving,
Yeah.
Patrick Irving. Okay, I always have problems with that, excuse me. Irving throws him out of bounds. About 15 yards on the play, and that'll put the ball up to the 45 of Liberty Center.
Yeah, Jacob Howard, as you mentioned, getting in a lot of good defensive effort there. Almost had the quarterback behind the line of scrimmage, but he had the angle and was able to get it upfield there for a big gainer.
Yeah, this Gustafson, a very good athlete, as we've seen now so far, although the Swanton Bulldogs, a young team. Now they give it on that handoff straight ahead.
I think Chad McClory met him right there at the line of scrimmage. Alan Sharp getting thumped on the back for that. And Neff was given credit there by the public address system.
All right. No gain on the play, perhaps a half a yard loss. That'll bring up 2nd down and 11. 8:35 on the first quarter clock here. Swanton, neither team picking up a first down. Swanton now has got a first down. Liberty did not. And Swanton in their 2nd possession of the game. They fake it. Now Gustafson off that left side. Spins, hit, pounded. Wow. Who stepped up to the plate there, Jimmy?
Yeah, 51 there be Alan Sharp.
Alan?
No. Yeah, Alan Sharp, also Jacob Perchlik.
Boy, he was met right now and stopped just like a book.
Yeah, Spike, the refs didn't say anything, but I defined a little movement in the Swanton backfield there.
That could very well have been. You know, that's like anything else. Once in a while, you get fooled. All right, now with 3 wideouts to this way, they shift over to the power side. Quarterback will roll this way, has got time. Looking upfield, throws short, a diving effort, and incomplete pass. Bodenbender on some tight coverage.
Yep, Joe Bodenbender right there when he needed to be.
Well, and you know, you flood a zone like that, and of course the defenders have to get there, and it can be pretty confusing. All right, Swanton, 7:33 and the clock has stopped. They've got a 4th and 9 at their own 46. You know, if you're Swanton, you've got nothing to lose. Who knows? This isn't a bad place to maybe go for something. But they're going to play it safe, and they'll punt the ball away. A high floater comes down at the 18-yard line. Mays looking for running room. Tries to cut the grain. Not much there. Maybe only gets a couple of yards on the return. Good job of with Swanton special teams there.
Yeah. Yeah, Damian Mays was looking for a block right there, and it just wasn't to be, so you kind of cut back a little bit, and there's about 3 white jerseys with purple numbers on them, and that's where they stopped him.
36-yard punt for Swanton, and the Tigers will take over back at their 19, so they've lost about 30 yards in field position. Perchlik in motion. They're going to give it coming back the other way to Reed, number 26, and he gets positive yardage up across the 20 and to about the 24.
Spike, on that play, I noticed the Swanton defensive front actually moved a half a man to the left there just before the snap. And you think about, you have a blocking assignment, you get up there and you're ready to go, and all of a sudden your guy's moving, that creates some problems.
Yeah, and then if they run some kind of a stun or something off of that, then it really gets confusing. All right, now they get to Perchlik right side. Perchlik stays on his feet, twists and turns, and powers his way forward up around the 29. It'll be about a 5-yard gain. 6-yard gain, we'll call it, and the Tigers are 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, a good strong run by Perchlik. The line got him started, but a lot of that was good hard muscle striding through there, so got there just the nose of a football to get a first.
All right. Reed, no, they give to Perchlik. Perchlik powers ahead up across the 30, and he'll pick up about 2 yards and a good solid first down for Liberty Center, their first of the game.
Yep, Jacob Clapp in there, number 65, and he put a good block right across the line of scrimmage from him to help get Perchlik that needed distance there, Spike.
Yep. Alan Sharp working the other guard. Now the give to Perchlik on a little dipsy-do. Cross buck play, and Perchlik up across the 35. They'll spot it at the 36.
Yeah, nice.
Gain of about almost 5 on the play.
Nice push there by Philip Miller, big fella in there, making it happen a little bit. You kind of like to have those big guys going ahead of you if you're packing the mail, Spike. They
Yeah.
generally create a little space.
Yeah, those bodies can take that jamming and jarring. All right, Tigers line up now in the double wing package, single setback Reed. Now they give it to Perchlik coming the other way from his wing back spot on the left, and the Bulldogs defense, Jimmy, playing some inspired football here. They hold Perchlik to maybe a yard on the play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tigers playing a pretty vanilla offense so far this series. The last series they fired the ball a couple times upfield. For Liberty Center, Danny Irving, one of the big stat people in receiving for the Tigers. Very effective wideout. All right, McClory now sets up as a wing on this side. They may roll this way. Now they're going to give it straight ahead. Fighting hard for yardage is Reed. Not much there, and Reed having a hard time getting anything established here for the Tiger running game.
Yeah, they're pretty well looking at that position when that ball comes back there. And of course, that's where Jake Elling seemed so effective in previous weeks, Spike, but so far they sort of had his number.
Yeah, well, Reed stepping in place of Jake Elling, of course. So 4th and 2 with 4:20 to go in the first quarter from the 40. Tigers in punt formation. This is one of those ripe positions. It is. They're going to fake it. They give straight ahead and nothing doing. The Swanton Bulldogs are there to stop Hefflinger. You know, Hefflinger looked like he was in a little bit deeper crouch. He looked a little more intent. Not surprised that he took the direct snap.
Oh, yeah, and you know, the Tigers got to try that once in a while. Over the years, they've made that fourth and punting situation turn into keep the drive alive play.
Oh, many times.
But, boy, Swanton was kind of right there. No place for Heffner to go but down.
Well,
so the Tiger defense is going to be called on here.
Each team with a first down in just one first down apiece in 2 possessions. Swanton now with position in the Liberty Center territory at the 40. Here is the fake. Gustafson back, throws the home run ball. That's going to be well overthrown. Great coverage down there by Bush and Irving.
Yeah, Bush and Irving. Also Heffner deep on another man down there. So Andy Speece over here had this near flat.
Well, and that time Swanton really didn't have too many options. That was an all or nothing Hail Mary. So that brings up second down. 4 minutes to go with the clock stopped. First period. We've got no score if you're just tuning in here to NC TV5. The Bulldogs put Bush and Bodenbender out there in coverage on the far side. Single setback. Tigers show blitz. Now a bad snap. Here come the Tigers sharp after him in there, and he's down well deep in the backfield.
Yeah, I think maybe Alan Sharp gets credit for touching him there, but he had already slipped and was kind of heading toward the ground. But boy, I'm telling you, I don't even think he hardly wanted to do anything to that ball, Spike. He might have been looking to get down.
He was in a bad way. All right, now that brings up third down, a loss of 16 yards on the high snap. And Swanton facing a third, well, let's call it 3rd and 26.
Spike, we've seen it before. The Tiger offense having just a little bit of a trouble getting her going. Well, the Tiger defense will take over then.
Yes, well, like we've said, you start thinking back, Jim. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Now the Bulldogs line up 3 wideouts to the far side, single setback. Quarterback Gustafson rolls that way. McClory tries to put pressure on. Now the quarterback picks it up and runs. He's going to get back.
I believe McClory.
Oh, yeah, that had to be McClory, the way he drove his face on the ground.
Right, he did catch up to him there. He was almost on all fours trying to get him before he got around the corner, but boy, he didn't quit and ran him down when he stopped for a block up there.
Yeah, gain of 12 yards back on the Gustafson keeper. Well, that's all he had. Nobody open up field. Tigers, again, our secondary doing a tremendous job in coverage. That was, the run was forced from the coverage.
Yeah.
High,
Bush.
spiraling kick.
Bush is the only one back.
Uh-oh, and I believe the ball got out of bounds. I think, no, wait a minute. Well, from here it looked like it was out of bounds.
I think he got it back. Bush there, number 33. That catch didn't work out right at all, Spike. That even hit him high, like he wanted to be back a little further and just sort of bounced off his chest.
Yeah, that was so high. That's as high a punt as you'll see in high school football.
Yeah.
And it took so long to come down. It's just like a fly ball when you're playing in the outfield. The ball has a tendency to come down just a little bit deeper, especially as high as that was, than what it appears. And that way it caught Bush on the shoulder pad.
Yeah, boy, sure got the Tigers pinned back here for this start
First
of
and
the
10
drive.
to 9. Little quick out to Irving. He's got running room up across the 30-yard line and a 21-yard gain for the Tigers.
That's good medicine for a bad field position there, Spike.
Yep. Jimmy, that's the play that our friends to the south made famous when they had the big three, that quick slant over the middle. And as good a defensive back as we had in, for example, Seth Atkinson, that was a tough play for the Tigers or anybody to defend.
Yeah.
Even as good as Seth was, that was a toughie, and the Tigers had to do a lot to stop it. Now the pitch coming this way to Reed. He's got a lot of running room, cuts it to the outside at the 40, makes a cut, shoves the tackler down and pulls his way all the way down to the Swanton 45.
Boy, a very nice run by Brandon Reed there. He showed a couple moves there and got people to miss a little bit and then used a good stiff arm spike. So big run coming off here to the Tigers' left end.
Wow, they could have ran a presidential motorcade through that thing, Jimmy. I tell you, the seals that the Tiger offense had on that side, the tight end
76.
Quigley and Andrew Schwab and Mays and another pulling guard. Now Brown, quick three-step drop. Almost a great catch by Irving. Irving reached behind him, got a hand on the ball, and is ready to put it in. And give the Swanton Bulldog DB credit. He got a hand in there just as Irving was starting to pull it into his body.
Yeah, I like that interior blocking there. That was just kind of a one-step drop almost, Spike. He just stayed right in there, and they were protecting him. That was an area that the coach said, I want my offensive line to get some polish here.
All right, wide out to either side. Straight ahead, give to Reed. Reed will pick up a couple off of this side.
Yeah, Jake Clapp kind of leading the way there with the block.
Yeah, you know, this is a night that I think we are going to see a lot of players. And should the game even stay close, I still think Liberty Center will use a few more than they normally would in their normal set.
Yeah, oh, Spike, this is a great game to build depth. You know, build depth and also to reward those players that have been working so hard in practice.
All right, sweep this way with Reed. Reed looking for room. Nice block by Hefflinger. Reed bouldering his way downfield. Cuts across the lane. He's got wide open territory. The last block thrown, and it's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown! Liberty Center comes up big. A 46-yard sprint to the end zone by Brandon Reed.
Oh, he did very well picking his blocking down there. There's a lot of big guys down there. Let me see, Schwab. Schwab was down there, and he kind of went right off of a nudge block on his part and slid over there. A good broken field run.
Yeah, let me rephrase that. That certainly wasn't a sprint because he had to, like you said, he had to pick his way through the defense. All in all, a scintillating run by Brandon Reed. Now the Tigers line up to go for two. Brown, straight drop, fires to the other side. Caught! Danny Irving again, and that is evidence, Jimmy, of why Danny Irving is perhaps one of the most admirable, just plain flat out good receivers in the area. That ball was caught strictly in the fingertips.
Yeah, what about the statistics on Danny Irving? He had one stretch where he had about 8 catches, and I think 5 touchdowns out of those 8 catches. So he runs a great pattern on that particular extra point pattern. He sort of drove the receiver to the other end of the end zone and just stopped on a dime, turned around, there was the ball, and the defender was looking kind of helpless on that play, Spike.
Well, we've got 6 touchdown passes by Brown, and we have 6 touchdown receptions by Mr. Irving.
That would be a man you'd want to cover at all costs. If he goes out for a pass, you'd want to be on him.
Well, the Tigers show their ability on offense to finally make things happen. That time, some great blocking. I mean, at the point of attack and then upfield, several Tigers made it downfield to help spring Reed loose.
Oh, that was a good sustained drive too, Spike. Remember, they started, about on their own 5 or 6 yard line, it seemed like.
9 yard line, 91 yards. All right, while we're getting set to kick off, we'll get a few of our sponsors. We'll start with, of course, our porch coaches. Rick Miller, Jesse Miller, Dave Moeller, Scott Slee, Todd Moeller, Chris Zacharias. Short end over end kick, that's going to come down at the 21-yard line. A wall of blockers ahead, tries to motor through, and who got in there and made the hit right?
65.
Yep, Mr. Clapp battled right through the wedge, Jimmy.
Yeah.
The wedge was non-existent in Clapp's eyes. He had one thing he had focused, and that was the return man.
Yeah.
Superlative effort.
Yeah, he's going to be angling for more playing time, which is his great depth along that offensive line, Spike. He had a foot injury early in the season, but boy, he's a man on a mission now.
Yes, sir. I believe only an 8-yard return, and that's a good football player there. You've got to knife through all 5 of those guys and make the unassisted tackle. So Swanton comes to the line of scrimmage, 46 seconds to go in the first quarter. They've got an I formation. They give to the fullback straight ahead. Not much there. Trying to keep Liberty Center honest. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play.
I believe that was 74 Neff and...
Yep.
And who? Yeah, 41. Alan Sharp was in there, or Perchlick, excuse me.
All right, we also with
51's
the
Allen.
porch coaches, we got Danny Brown, Mike Mann, Bob Shaddy, Jeff Hubb, Jeff Spangler, and Dave Silvis. Also, Terry Bowers, Tim Bowers, and Louis Miller. Tonight on the chain gang, Jim, by the way.
Yeah.
Mike Mann is up on running the clock. Brian Baker on leave of absence. And so now we've got a new man down on the chain gang.
Wow, has he been appropriately indoctrinated into what it takes to be a Tiger chain gang?
Well, let me put it this way, Jim. He's one of the porch coaches.
Oh, well,
And so,
say no more,
yes.
Spike. If he's the porch coach and he has credentials that would enable him to do a fine job over there.
Yeah, once in, never out.
Well, can you identify the guy, though? I mean,
Yeah, Jesse Miller.
Okay, yeah, Jesse
Yeah,
Miller.
Jesse Miller, one of the porch
Well,
coaches.
that's an honor. That's an honor to
Yes,
be
it is.
included in that group. I still haven't heard what it takes for membership. Maybe sometime I'll be
Well,
fortunate enough to learn.
it's, you know, you just don't walk in, Jim. It's
I believe
yeah,
that.
there's a lot of resolutions and
Yeah.
institutions and proclamations that have to be formulated.
Probably a little hazing here.
Oh yeah,
too.
a lot of that. All right, let's get some more of our good Tiger sponsors here. You know, these are the people that make things happen here in Liberty Center, whether it be TV5, of course, but so many high school organizations and so many groups.
Oh, that's exactly the case. They keep the community working and the school.
Yep. The generosity of these people is just bar none. All right, we've got Dave's Auto Service with Dave Perry, the Railside Meat Market with Bob Miller. He features meat, cheese, and many assorted sundries. We got Danny Hefflinger with a Maritime Realty, 39 years of service in the Liberty area. And we've got the Tiger Shop with Bob Shaddy. That growing into a pretty good little business there is Bob doing work for a lot of area schools. All right, now the Bulldogs show a wide formation to the far side, rolling that way, now stops, cuts it up, and the Tigers cover that very well, no gain on the play.
Alan Sharp, 51 on the stop there. Stayed right with him, bulldogged him to the ground.
Yeah, Tigers got back there, got penetration, forced him out of the so-called rolling pocket, and he more or less had to go somewhere. Now Bush comes off the field. Back in is Quigley with a little more beef.
Yeah, 62, Brandon Stacy coming off.
Yeah, Stacy not a defensive starter, but he's such a stalwart center.
Oh, yeah, and he was doing that with turf toe, Spike. He had
you got to be tough to handle that. That's bad news.
I'm telling you.
All right, Bulldogs with two receivers to the far side. Single setback. Tight end over here. They're going to run a little option. Nothing doing. McClory got him bottled up and hauled down in the backfield.
Wow, what a good, strong snow your block effort by Chad McClory. Just thrust right in there, spoiled that whole play. The rest of them didn't want him and was instrumental in that great loss there.
Tom, did you get who got the tackle?
Who got to stop on that?
Bodenbender, number 27. Yeah, McClory had him bottled up.
Well, that's a benchmark of the Tigers. If the first guy doesn't make it happen, he at least spoiled things, and here comes the rest of them.
All right, 4th and 18. The Bulldogs with a beautiful punt, end over end, and it's going to be taken by Mays at the 26-yard line, straight ahead, battling, takes a hit, takes another hit, and gets it up across the 40.
Well, good field position there. Tiger defense made a lot of good, strong plays. Spike pretty well shut the Bulldog offense down, and a good punt bailed them out, but a good return here by Damian Mays.
Yeah, we'll call it a 17-yard punt return for Mays. That's, of course, unofficial. Check the stats of longtime Liberty Press sports editor football sports editor Tom Fry for the official results. Double wing set in motion, and the handoff to Reed. Reed is going to battle his way up across the 45, where he's hit there by several tacklers. Sexton seeing some action at wing back now. So, in the aftermath, they're going to call it a gain of 3. Tigers need to get to the just short of the 47-yard line of the Bulldogs. Now double wing package, read the single setback, double tight end, wide out Irving, quick slant, caught by Mays. Mays tries to split two tacklers, gets down inside the 40-yard line to the 37.
Oh, Spike, that was a delicious pass by Patrick Brown.
Yes, it was. Those are great because when you can hit those, it really forces the defense to tighten in, and thus your big guns, your big explosive people like an Irving are going to get that single coverage on those long home run balls.
Yeah, but boy, he hit his man in stride there. Just a beautiful strike.
All right, Mays and Sexton, the wingbacks. Now they give to Sexton with one man to beat. This little judder step gets inside the 35 to the 33. You didn't notice it, but a good solid gain. We're going to call it 5 on the play. Wait for the spot, yep. All right, officially they call it 4 yards. 9 minutes left here in the second period. The Tigers up 8-0 over the Bulldogs. Bulldogs showing some spunk here, Jim, even getting through Murderer's Row here so far in the NWAL. Now here's the give. Sexton cuts it outside. Great open field tackle, and that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs playing with some heart here, and you got to appreciate that.
Yeah, Spike, they've got some quick people. Now, they don't have a lot of size. They do have a lot of youth, but that was great fill from the secondary there. He saw that to be kind of a sweep coming around there. And, man, he got up there and cut the legs out from under Sexton right now.
Yep. For Swanton, Coach Olemacher said that he likes to emulate Liberty Center's style of play. He said, we're not big, they're not big, they're quick, they play hard, they hit hard. And that's where we want to get, in a few years. All right, Liberty Center now after the yard gain by Sexton. It'll be 3rd and a long 4. The ball just short of the 30-yard line. Sexton in motion this way. Browns drops back, throws deep. He's got Irving, possibilities. Almost a fantastic catch. Wow.
Yeah, he was running out of end zone right there, but man, you'd think he'd like another crack of that, because if he had a look at that probably 7 times out of 10, he'd find a way to rake her in there, Spike.
Boy, that is a tough grab.
Yeah.
Brown put it in the only place he could with the defender where he was positioned, and not Brown, of course, but Irving had to actually literally lean straight back and try to find the ball, not just over his shoulder, but straight back, and that is the most difficult catch of all.
Yeah, exactly. But you got to appreciate the protection that Patrick Brown was getting back here at the line of scrimmage.
Yes, and we've had good protection this year. Between Brown's escapability and the great line blocking, we have had time to throw. Double reverse. And, that goes nowhere. Damian Mays was caught by the good Swanton penetration. And I'm telling you what, these Bulldogs are playing some tough football.
Yep. So they snuffed out a 4th down effort here by the Tigers, but the play wasn't even hardly over with. The smoke hadn't cleared. Here comes the defense out there. Those boys that are coming out there, they say, hey, we got you. We're going to pick you up. And likely they'll make every effort to do exactly that.
All right, in the defensive backfield, we've got number 6, Andy Spees, number 3, Derek Hefflinger, number 24, Danny Irving, and number 7, Damian Mays. Good coverage group.
Oh, they've been more than anybody would have expected this campaign, Spike.
All right, Mays in coverage on this short side. Far wide receiver covered by Spees. Give straight ahead.
McClory got him as he was going by, and there's other Tigers that didn't give any ground there. Big number 74, Neff, they couldn't get past him either. Quigley they give credit to.
Yep. The Tigers, football is somewhat different than it used to be. Now you play with all these wide sets, but then you try to snake your way up the middle, and you try to spread the defense. So a lot of good one-on-one play has to be achieved by the defense to stay with the more wide-open offense.
Yeah, and even though you're being blocked, you got to be able to find a way to...
Exactly. All right, a wide out to either side. They run a pitch sweep coming this way, a little bit of running room. Mays steps up. Mays and Irving combined for the tackle at around the 40-yard line. Good recovery play there. That could have been dangerous.
Yep. Well, they got 6 yards on it. That was a good hard run by the Bulldogs and a couple of nice blocks right on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and if it wouldn't have been for the Tigers' tenacity, Mays fighting through a block to initiate the hit, that could have been a 50-yard gain with any kind of luck at all. But instead, the Tigers' defensive prowess prevails. But Swanton with a very short situation. We'll call it 3rd and 2, a long 2. They need to get the ball just close to the 48. I formation, wide out either side. Here's the give, and nothing, no way. Hefflinger, one of the men in there, down low.
I think it was Hefflinger, also 27 boat bender right there. But now Hefflinger in particular there was blocked. Quigley too, they had blocks on him, hard blocks, but they just raised up and nailed him. Sometimes that's done when it seems though the guy did the blocking. Well, I did my job. I had him. He was neutralized. He was on his knee. Yeah, but he still made the play because he was a Tiger.
Yes. And Hefflinger, I'm telling you, the kid is too thin. He is too small to be able to play football. I'm telling you. He only weighs, the program's 160, and I think that's generous. But did you see the hit the kid just made?
He makes plays.
Absolutely. Now, Swanton going to go for it. 4th and 3. And now they're going to call,
Oh, he'll get a flag on that, yeah.
Boy, something happened there, and I thought for a minute the referees didn't throw it right away.
Yeah, well, the quarterback, he was ready to back out of there and make a pass, and you can't do that. Everybody was set, and you can't jerk out from under center and take those quick steps, Spike.
Well, I don't know if they were trying to draw the Tigers. That would have been enough for a first down. But a good try from the Bulldog part of it. Now as Wauseon gets set for the punt, appearing punt attempt at 5:29 of the second period. Tigers up 8-0. We've got Damian Mays, single return man back at the 32.
Almost block. Alan Sharp almost got that.
Mays with some blockers in front, cuts to the outside. He's got a wall. He's got a wall. He's got one man to beat up the sideline at the 25. Spins past him. What a move by Mays. What a job. What a play. What a football player.
I guess so. Damian Mays, we've seen him take it to the house once already right in front of the stands, and he was going the other direction this time, and he went a long ways when it didn't look like there was any place for him to go.
Why? A return like that, Barry Sanders would have got a smile on his face from that move down there around the 20-yard line.
I know. That's Hall of Fame stuff.
Yes, sir, buddy. All right, now.
Quigley made a good block on that.
Man.
Saw him do it. I'm sure there were others, too, which you enjoy watching when these games are replayed.
Yes, replay it. All right, now the Tigers show Irving and Perchlik spread wide to the far side. We've got Mays over here, but a Swanton timeout. I don't blame him there. 5:07 and a punt return, Damian Mays. Let's see, we're going to call that 32-68. Okay, a 55-yard punt return by Damian Mays. I'm telling you, that was dazzling, fantastic, slippery.
Yeah, Spike.
Like a whirling dervish.
And it started kind of slow. He caught the punt and instantly there was traffic and he just kind of surveyed. Yeah, here's a little space here. And his blocking began to form. And they weren't necessarily pancake blocks. They were more like screen blocks.
Yes.
But Damian Mays picked his way and all of a sudden he had a little piece of green real estate.
Yes. You're right, and when he came this way with the ball, the little wall, the front wall, your front couple guys there sealed that, and all of a sudden, about every 8 yards, there was a Tiger, there was a Tiger, there was a Tiger, and now he's got that wall.
Oh, and he danced along the sideline. They thought they had him down here a piece, but he was able to avoid getting driven out of bounds and got another 5-6 yards.
Yep, Damian able to provide the excitement as long as we've got the music. All right, let's catch a few sponsors here while we've got a chance. We've got Holgate Metal Fab with Jeff and Todd Spangler. KK Collision with Kyle Kern. Kyle does all kinds of wrecker work, paint jobs, also entire and complete truck and automotive service. Does diesel work. Also, we've got Lil and Ron Bruns with Rainbow Stitches. All right, Liberty Center back in business. We'll call it at the 11. Brown.
Loose ball.
Brown shaking up on the play. Jim, I lost it.
I didn't see that either, Spike. I don't know.
Tom, can you give us
What happened to quarterback Patrick Brown in that play, Tom Fry? 88 of Swanton got a hard piece of him.
Well, now the trainer attending to Patrick Brown. We hope this injury is nothing any too serious.
Well,
but
what about the football? The Tigers maintained possession on that?
yeah,
What happened there?
I think they did. I think the referee must have blown the play dead, although I'm not sure. Well, while we're checking this out, we'll get some more sponsors. The Tiger brass here on the sidelines are going to hurry up and get Jordan Perdue ready, the backup quarterback. Fortunately for Liberty, Perdue a senior, so he'll come in with a little bit of experience and with a little bit of just starting role experience.
Yeah, he had played quarterback at various times, so he has the experience and also the know-how and the toughness to step right in there. But I did not see that. I don't know if they're attending to his hand, Spike, or just what, but evidently Swanton number 88 come in there and made a clean hit, but really drilled the quarterback.
All right, Brown now at least sitting up. That's a good sign. All right, some more sponsors. We've got the Henry County Bank with Bill Wendt, 6 locations throughout Henry County. And of course, now we see Patrick Brown coming off under his own power. I'm not even going to try to speculate as to the injury. It could have been just the wind knocked out of him. Swanton Welding with the Zeiter family. Dugout with Steve and Catherine Parasini. Hill Asphalt Paving with Randy and Patty Hill. And the Tigers come back on to the field. And Jordan Perdue, number 9, will be under center.
12-yard line.
Pitch Perchlick, the wingback on the left. Here is the give to Reed. Reed dancing his way, twisting, cutting, driving, and he's into the end zone. Jimmy Boy!
Oh,
it's
yeah.
another Tiger touchdown!
Good work by that Tiger front line there, and also Brandon Reed is able to pick his field there a little bit. You know, there wasn't a hole right where he took the handoff and stepped up there, but he can change directions.
Yes.
And keep balance
Excellent
very well
point.
there.
Excellent point. He ran behind Schwab and Zinn on that left side. No, actually Clapp over there as the left guard right now. And then just, like you said, cut across the grain and found the opening. Here's Brandon Reed powering straight ahead. He's going to be close, waiting for a signal, and they're going to rule just short of the end zone. So at the 4:54 mark of the second period, Liberty Center ups their lead on this homecoming crowd night for Queen Katie Lilovic. It's Liberty Center 14 and Swanton 0. All right, more sponsors as we move along here. We've got Truckers Paradise with Lynn and Jerry Ripke. Jerry features full meals, breakfast and supper and lunch, and also her 57 kinds of wonderful homemade pies. The Sky Bank, soon to become the Huntington Bank in Liberty Center. Speast Trailer Court.
Merge, Spike. I believe they are the Huntington.
Are they now
Yep.
officially? Okay.
Yep.
Speast Trailer Court with Rick Speast. Liberty Center Consulting Group, Mark and Jody Bly. B.A. Miller and Sons Trucking with Norma Miller and family. L.R. Babcock Plumbing and Heating with Bill Tiplady, Dan and Francis Brown. Of course, Danny Brown, father of Patrick Brown, the quarterback. Francis, the grandfather. And Bill Tiplady, uncle. How's that for a family deal? Davis Farm Services in Delta and Liberty with Karen Howe. And Pizzanello's Pizza, home of the slice of pizza to go for a buck with Craig and Sherry Myers. They feature their buffet hours of 11 to 2 and 4 to 8 with full buffet. Also, we've got Miller Brother Trucking with Skip Miller. Mitchell Farm Equipment with Tom, Pat, Barb, and Mike Mitchell. Meyer Badenhop Insurance Agency with Glenn Badenhop and Bob and Marge Jurassics in Liberty Center. Now, good kickoff, taken all the way back at the 10-yard line. And the Bulldogs weave their way forward. I believe Sharp, number 51, may have been one of the first ones in on that hit.
Yeah, hosted Tigers there getting her stop there. Peter Perchlick, number 81, also out there making his presence.
Number 40, Jerry Holtgrave.
Yeah, so there's a host of Tigers that get out there and mix it up. But special teams, we've addressed that previous games, but the special teams are an important part of this Tiger program, Spike.
Yeah. All right, Jacob Howard, number 20, the punter, and now working his way into more playing time on the defense. In there as a defensive back. He's lined up at the far side versus the two wideouts. Swanton in an I formation. They give to the fullback. No, they fake it and run the option. Gustafson keeps it, battles, twists, and powers his way for nearly 10 yards. That's going to be close.
Heffler got there finally, as did Bodenbender.
Well, as you like to call it, a well-designed play there. They faked to the fullback. That sucked the Liberty defense in a little, and it was enough to give the quarterback enough time to spearhead the option play. So a gain of about 9. No, we're going to get a Tiger measurement.
Well, that's good practice for him, Spike. You never know.
And from here, we can't
it's really
see it.
going to be important there.
Well, the chain gang does the job again. Chris Zacharias heading up the crew over there as the, the kind of the unsung head man.
He's got the longevity, the
he's
time
certainly
and grade on that particular spot.
Well, he's not bad at it, but he's still a little wet behind the ears, kind of green. But that time the crew, under his leadership, did their jobs.
Yeah.
We've got Jesse Miller on the front stick, and let me see, back there on the rear. Let's see.
Well, thinking about Mike Mann, is there a little more compensation that slides?
Jeff Crozier on the backside. Yeah, big fella down there, Jeff Crozier on the backside of the sticks. Jim, we'll get to that in a minute. All right, Swanton with the ball, 2nd and 1. They've got two wideouts this way.
No.
Now they're going to give to the fullback. He squirts out of there, wide open. I believe Swanton is going to get on the board. Jim, I don't know how that happened. A 58-yard burst when it looked like he was bottled up for maybe not even enough for a first down.
Yeah, Spike, that's the only way to put it, just like you called it. He squirted out of there. It looked like there's no way. Tigers really crunched toward the center of that line, and somehow or other he did squirt through there, and he was off to the races, showing good speed, and he had a head start on the Tiger defensive boys, and we couldn't catch him.
No, 14-6 with 4 minutes and 3 seconds left in the second period. Jimmy, we got us a football game.
Well, we do indeed at this point.
Swanton will opt to go for the single point after touchdown conversion kick.
Good to see Patrick Brown working out on the sidelines, throwing passes, Spike. So
yes, a booming kick. Boy, that would have been good from 40 yards out. I hope that doesn't come in play later on. So at that 4:03 mark, it's 14-7 Liberty Center. And for a team that was supposed to roll tonight over a supposedly hapless Swanton Bulldog squad, such is not the case. So let's wrap it up with our sponsors here for the first half. We've got Ken and Robin Carpenter, special Tiger sponsors. Also, John Slagle and the memory of good old Donnie Sharp and those stinking rotten, no good yellow flags.
Haven't seen that many flags tonight, Spike. It's been a reasonably clean game, at least from the Tigers' point of view.
Yeah, now we had one or two stinkers in there for games, but I think overall the Tigers are in a progression that they're getting steadily more proficient, better at that.
They're improving every week. Yeah, there's one game that escapes me, but we must have been penalized about 45 yards there in one stretch.
Yeah,
but the Tigers didn't lose their composure, and they actually held and forced a 4-and-out.
Well, and I think that's been one of the strong points of the team is their composure in all situations.
Yeah. Yep, you don't get down. If something happened that wasn't good, well, okay, they're going to line it up and go at it again. We got another chance.
All right, Spiess and Mays back deep. Swanton fakes a little possible onside kick, and now they're going to line up straight, kicking from just inside the hash mark on this side.
Man, he looks like the band out there doing that, Spike.
Floating kick, hits at the 16, picked up by Mays at the 8. Mays works his way ahead, has a little room, has a seam, now makes a cut. Oh, if he breaks that one, Jimmy, he's got running room. Upfield.
62 out there.
Blocking, gets it to 40, makes a cut, spins past that, and all the way down to the 35-yard line.
Boy, what a dangerous return man Damian Mays is. I'm telling you, you know, he takes a little bit of time getting started, but he's under control, and he can start and stop and go. And looked like they were set up for him to come up the right side, but looked kind of congested over here to him, so he kind of zipped over to his left, and all of a sudden he was eating up the real estate.
Boy, I'll say, you know, he's got, like you say, he's got that intuition, that stop and start, go, change speeds, break a tackle, miss a tackle, force the miss, and now Swanton will call a timeout.
Spike, can you make all league as a kick returner?
I would certainly think you better make provisions for a guy like that,
I'm
because Damian Mays is making his mark on the NWAL.
Boy, hey, well, then there's a lot of Tigers that are clearly all league potential or perform at that level. So it's pretty early to talk about that, but you know, it just occurred to me, did they identify a return specialist?
You know, I'm not sure.
If not, that ought to be thrown out there, and hey, let's talk about that. Look what this young man's done for these Tigers.
All right. Well, while the Swanton Bulldogs take a timeout, we'll be back. Okay, here we go. Brown back under center, fires it out quick, and just out of the diving attempt by Damian Mays at the 32-yard line. Well, Jimmy, the Tigers with Swanton 7, the Bulldogs hanging in there.
Oh, they are. The Bulldogs are playing fine football right now. And, Tigers are kind of sputtering a little bit, but I think they aim to go in with another six-pointer here.
All right, Perchlik and Mays, the wingbacks. Perchlik in motion. Good block there, but thrown short. Reed fell back and gave Brown some time, but Brown still feeling the heat. And the pass came up a little bit short. That'll bring up third down.
Yeah, I don't know the nature of his injury because we couldn't see Spike, but boy, his passes have been a little off target for Patrick Brown. At time, you know, seems like, we've seen him make that lots of times this season, just a little out there, but.
Well, that time he had to go over the top of Brandon Reed and the man that was hard charging.
He couldn't set his feet. He did jump to try to make that.
Perchlik in motion. They fake to Perchlik. Now, wait a minute. It's
Damian Mays going around.
Mays on the wing-back reverse.
Yeah.
Wow, good job by the Tiger call there. A positive yardage, and that'll set up a much more convertible fourth down. Gain of, we'll call it 6. Clock running, 3:20 left here in the first half. Jim, after watching Liberty Center down through the years under the tutelage of Rex Lindgren, I fully expect the Tigers to score.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think everybody does on this side of the field.
All right, deep pitch to Reed. He's got blockers, makes a nice cut behind Zinn, and pounded his way all the way down to the 20-yard line.
You know, I think he's
14-yard gain.
Yeah, I think he's deceptively fast too, Spike. He kind of runs upright, but that enables him to see what's going on and to change directions like he does, you know?
Yeah.
But he picks his way. If there's a little green space, he can maneuver toward it quite well.
All right, more of that in a minute now. We've got Reed behind the quarterback, Brown. And a quick fire to Irving. Irving with a straight arm. Irving handles and bambles and rambles his way down inside the 10-yard line. And that's good enough. Well, it's awfully close, we'll put it that way, to a first down. I believe, yes, it is. It'll be a first and goal.
Yep,
at the 9-yard line.
Sticks down, and you like that when your boys are on offense because that means they cannot make a first down. They need to score.
I think what was that? We'll guess. I'm just guessing here. 11-yard pickup. All right, Tigers come with Mays wide, spread out wide to this side. Quick drop. Brown there waits, fires. He had Quigley coming across hard and Mays coming from the other way. Two men in the same territory.
Yeah, that pass just a little low though. They couldn't. Anybody get that off their shoestrings there, but nobody else could catch it either.
Perfect point.
And you've got 3 more downs in order to make it happen here. So don't take chances, you know. And that's Patrick Brown for you, you know, all season long, Spike. He just doesn't put it up or think he's going to play like Brett Favre. He just does the job.
All right, tight formation, standard wing set. Here is the give to Reed. Reed going for the end zone. It's his third. Tiger touchdown. Brandon Reed bursting through. move. You know, the point we were talking about earlier, Brandon Reed is starting to get a feel for the game.
Oh,
His
truly.
moves are a little more straight ahead, and then he makes the great cut. The offensive line getting into the flow. The momentum is working, and the Tigers now have scored their third touchdown. They lead it 20-7 at the 2:27 mark.
Yeah, I tell you, this Brandon Reed, they better print some fresh programs and put his number in there, Spike. He deserves it.
Yeah, there's people going to want to know who that freight train is. Now Brown drops back, fires for the end zone, caught by Damian Mays.
All right.
Jimmy, I'm telling you, this passing attack, while it's got some rough edges to work out, I think very, very efficient, very good. They offset the Tiger running game quite well.
Yeah, they're a good balance, and Tigers needed that to start the season even. There was rumors that this would be called Air Lindgren. Well, not exactly. Tigers would still like to run, but there's good balance at it. When they need a pass, they got good confidence in Patrick Brown and his stable of receivers led by Danny Irving, and they've just been making it happen.
Tigers set. McClory going to handle the kickoff chores. And he gets into a boomer. That's going to go over the head of the Swanton Bulldogs, and it's going to roll just into the end zone. Boy, that's a little dangerous territory. The return man let the ball go, and the ball barely went into the end zone.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true,
that
Spike.
ball, Jimmy, that's a live ball.
That's true enough, but I'm thinking of that kicker. If he can do that consistently, he gets a scholarship for kicking it to next level.
Yeah,
That's a booming
yeah.
kickoff right there. Beautiful kickoff. Well, with almost 2.5 minutes to go, I think this Tiger defense is going to try and get their hands on the ball, Spike.
Jimmy, now that's, I'm not sure that's what they teach in Sunday school, is it? That'd be thievery, Jimmy. All right, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Yeah,
Gustafson.
smother that quarterback right back there. There was a lot of Tigers at it, but was it Neff?
Yep,
74
Brandon
there.
Neff, good call. And the Tigers.
Bear hugged him back there.
Tigers are going to use a timeout, Jimmy.
I'm telling you, it's 2 minutes and 19 ticks yet.
And they're going to hope to bottle up Swanton. Well, we'll be back after the timeout. All right, now with blood in their eye, here come the Tigers on defense looking for another stop, and the Bulldogs with a quick little
74.
hitter.
Neff is a man possessed out there in his last couple series, Spike.
Now only a couple of yards. We'll call it 3 yards on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down and 9.
Still another Tiger timeout.
2:13 to go, and we've got that timeout.
They're readier than they look. Okay.
Okay, 22-7, the Tigers lead. An important 3rd down situation for both ball clubs in the direction this game will go. The Bulldogs with the Gustafson under center, straight drop. He's going to throw deep, one man out there, and I believe nobody is going to catch up with that one. Gustafson had to fight for his life just to get the ball off. That intense Tiger pressure forced the trajectory of the ball to go a little higher than what he intended.
Yeah, and the nice thing about a pass, didn't take any time off the clock, Spike, so a strong 2 minutes yet, and it's 4th down and 8. You know they're going to punt it away because they can't turn it over down where it's at, so Tigers will have 2 minutes to get that offense rocking.
All right, here's Damian Mays back at his own 46-yard line. The snap, a low line drive spiral, hard spiral. That's going to take a great Swanton roll. Bobbled around, scooped up by Mays at the 20, and he's going to be tackled right there. 1:55 left here in the second quarter. It's 22-7 Liberty, and their plans with the big return, with Mays setting up at the 45, have been thwarted. Tigers with 81 yards of field in front of them to go. All right, Brown back in shotgun. Throws it behind Irving, who was cutting toward the middle. Well, that's all right. Get the bad 1st down out of the way, collect your thoughts, and now we make it happen.
Yeah, that's true, but golly, Spike, he obviously was expecting an out instead of an in.
Yeah.
And, man, that kind of worries you to see too much of that.
Well, bound to happen. I mean, we even see it on Sunday, even
Yeah.
Brett Favre himself sometimes can have that
Yeah,
type
they're
of
not quite on the same page. The receiver running the pattern and what the quarterback thinks.
All right, Mays wide out, fire this side, Irving over here. Brown straight back, they're gonna set up a screen to Mays. Mays now has to get a little help. Great job there with Schwab blocking, but Mays only, yes, a late hit flag. The clock will stop and the ball will advance toward the Swanton goal line.
Yeah, he caught that official. He was some distance away, but there was no need for that. He was tackled. Everybody was on the ground at number 8.
Oh, come on, they call it a hold. What do you mean?
Right.
No, they can't be serious. He got speared.
Yeah, number 81 for Swanton. He's kind of piled on here. I think they're getting it right here. They're
No, I don't know. No.
Whoa.
They call a block in the back and
Yeah. Huh.
Hey, what about the spear job? Wow, Jimmy. Well, the Tigers are going to have to overcome a little extra adversity now. The ball back at the 11-yard line. They throw deep. Irving eyes it, makes a spin, but the ball just out of bounds. And that'll bring up third down. Now, the ball rests on the 11. Liberty Center has to get to the 29-yard line. So they've got essentially, with the time left on the clock, 1:35, they've got one down to come up with those 19 yards.
That's true, Spike. They can't no way call this 4-down territory here with that much time on the clock and risk turning it back to the Bulldogs with this kind of field position.
Yeah.
So we need it on this play.
Well, we'll see now. The Tigers line up with Brown and shotgun. Reed back there to draw support. They're going to, a little more safe play. They're going to give it to Sexton. Sexton makes a nice little cut and battles his way up across the original line of scrimmage. Swanton with a lot of extracurricular hits there. They got away with a big one on that other one.
Boy, that's true, Spike. I just can't believe that. The guy who threw a flag, now there were a couple flags that were thrown, and evidently that other flag must have taken precedence over this one, but at the very least, shouldn't they be offsetting penalties?
Oh, yeah.
Because clearly number 81 of the Bulldogs, after the play was completely on the field and over with, put his 2 bits on it.
All right, Swanton now has reversed the Tiger strategy, and they've called a timeout on this 4th down play. So with 1:24, it's 22-7. Liberty Center here with in the waning seconds of this second quarter. We'll be back after the timeout.
Yeah. Very high. On Tom Fry.
All right, Swanton now with a chance to get the football back.
There's a
Howard,
punt.
yes,
Howard.
a booming kick.
Yeah, and he
the
waves.
fair catch called for all the way back at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, that's the kind of punting that the whole season we've come to expect out of Jacob Howard, knowing full well it can't always come off like you'd like to see it. Sometimes the snap isn't quite there, or it just doesn't have the right feel on it or whatever, but that was a punt when the Tigers needed it. He got it out of his
Unofficially, as I look to the editor, the football editor of the press, we're going to call it a 42-yard punt.
Which also caused for a fair catch. You know,
yes,
no return.
Yes, and no return. Great point, Jim. All right, 2 wideouts to the far side. Swanton going to try to crack the scoring column in the final 1:17 of the half. Gustafson rolling, has a man wide open. Oh, man, dropped by number 21 and nearly picked off by Hefflinger on a great diving attempt.
Yeah, he was trying to pick that off the grass and just about accomplished that.
Yeah, boy, if they'd have been playing one-hop football, he'd have had that going 60 yards the other way. All right, the clock stopped with 1:11 to go, 22-7. Liberty in the lead, but Swanton battling valiantly. They hold the Tigers, force a punt, and now trying to maybe tack on some points themselves. Mays and Irving out here in coverage. They show 3 men. Jacob Howard also out here on the triumvirate defense. And now we've got a flag on the play. a procedure call against the Bulldogs. Not sure, Jim, if they lined up, but usually they get a chance to
yeah, but that
step back.
That big fella ran up there and shut her down, so maybe he's feeling a little tough about an earlier call. They don't do that, do they? Officials gotta let him go, don't they?
No, Jim, they don't really do that. They just have ways of maybe satisfying their own conscience. All right, same three wide receivers set to this side. Gustafson back in shotgun. Now they're going to, no, they faked the draw. Now they're going to throw the home run ball back deep. There's Mays.
Danny Irving.
And it's Irving with another pick. Now Irving up the sideline. He's got some blockers. At the 50, makes a cut across the green. Hits to the outside. He's got McCoy there with a great block. Now Irving steps it up a notch. Across the 40, down to the 30, and out of bounds. 51 seconds to go, and we got the ball going the other way.
Oh, and we got her down there knocking on the door, Spike. Gonna line it up here on the Bulldog 20, I don't know, inside the Bulldog 30-yard line with just about a minute to go. Good defense. Tigers had plenty of defenders against that Hail Mary type pass, and a couple Tigers could have caught it. But,
yeah, Mays and Irving, and they showed composure that they didn't out-battle themselves for the ball and turn it into an incomplete pass.
That's right, and then a good run back sets the Tigers up pretty good there.
All right, here it is. Perchlik cutting around the outside and Corden the blocker. Makes a great cut. Straight up the middle. He's going to go all the way. Jacob Perchlik, 27-yard burst with a whole host of Tiger blockers.
Oh, you had to love Andrew Schwab, number 76, 250-pounder. Must have been doing these sprints this week. He was down in front, providing a nice shield. On the other side of him was Adam Quigley, number 88. Couple of big guys down here.
Boy, Jimmy, he was a motor in there. Perchlik had, wow. You talk about student body out there.
Yeah,
this is homecoming night, and I believe the queen in her court was out there leading the way.
Well, the boys were trying to make the queen proud, I'll tell you that.
All right. Tigers going to go for two. Brown rolling right. He's going to have to get rid of it at some point. Lost it into the end zone. And good battle down there given by Mays. But it falls incomplete amongst a whole host of Swanton defenders.
Well, that scoreboard looks a little better, Spike. The Tigers got down to business here. This last part of the second quarter, they started getting like, hey, whether it's defense or offense, we're going to put some points on the board, and that's what they're doing.
Boy, Jimmy, what a set of defensive backs this team has. We're able to put good pressure on the quarterback time after time after time, and they do it with a three-man front, an imaginative use of the linebackers to help mix things up with their stunts and blitzes, and then you've got our deep secondary. What a job that these four young men, plus Bush in there too, and
yeah, well, that's truly...
And Jacob Howard as well.
Yeah, that's truly one of the strengths of this edition of the Tiger defense. The secondary, when we're talking pure pass coverage, Spike, it's there. These Tigers can cover back there.
Yeah, and that return by Danny Irving, I mean, he swiveled the hips, he stuck out a straight arm, he eluded tacklers, he picked up blocks, he had a sense of where he had to go and a sense of how to work what he had in front of him.
Oh, yeah, well, then the two biggest Tigers out there were doing good screen work right down on the goal line, and he just went right along between them.
Well, for the second time in a row, Chad McClory booms it into the end zone, and Swanton will take over at their 20-yard line again. Now only 43 seconds left. 28-7, Liberty Center. All right, here we go. Give straight ahead. No, they fake it. They're going to run that option again. We have yet to see the option pitch. Gustafson keeps the football, picks up a couple yards on the play. You know, not a bad quarterback, Jim, if he were under a little bit different setting.
Yeah, well, they figure Swanton is a year or two away from being good, but we've kind of heard that over the years, Spike, and I don't know what the problem is with the Bulldog program, but they just have not been as strong as we sometimes remember in their history.
Well, I think sometimes you just have to rejuvenate the feeling and rekindle the fire, so to speak, which has been out.
And get the athletes out and start to build a program.
All right, now Swanton is going to run out of an I formation, and the clock runs out here as the Bulldogs let it go. Well, a lot of superlatives on some big plays could be thrown around right now, Jimmy, but we're ready for halftime here in the homecoming festivities. Liberty led 14-7 with only about 4 minutes to go, but they come back and had three possessions in the last 4 minutes, making 2 of them count for scores.
Yeah, that was key. They needed to make that scoreboard look a little better, and of course they got that accomplished with some great defense and run backs and then offense when they needed it. Good execution right there when they had to have it, Spike.
All right. As we settle in here for the Swanton's halftime band show, that score, Liberty 28, Swanton 7. Okay, from the crack stat crew of Matt Furco, Luke Crozier, and Pete Martinez, we bring you the halftime stats. Liberty Center had a total of, let's see here, 33 plays, 220 yards for about approximately 7 yards of play. Swanton, on the other hand, had 18 carries for 95 yards. They were 0 for 6 in the air. So altogether, Swanton with 24 plays for 95 yards for about 4 yards of play. Liberty Center averaging 7 yards per play. The Tigers, Brandon Neff, number 26, 10 carries for 110 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jacob Perchlik, 4 carries for 40 yards. And let's see here. All right, we'll get it right. Sean Sexton, number 2, 3 carries for 16 yards. Liberty Center, 20 carries, 170 yards, about 8.5 yards a carry. All right, now the kickoff by Swanton. High over end kick, taken by Mays at the 5. He's got a wall, makes a move, and in trying to split the defenders, gets up to the 28-yard line where the Tigers will take over there. All right, so more on these stats. Liberty Center's Patrick Brown, 3 of 13 for 50 yards, 2 catches by number 24 Irving, and 1 for 33 yards, 1 catch by Mays for 17. On return yardage, Damian Mays, 4 punt returns for 70 yards and a kickoff return for 58. Danny Irving had an interception for 43 yards. And by the way, with Danny Irving, that will increase his area lead now to 5 interceptions amongst all of Northwest Ohio.
Wow.
First downs, Liberty Center had 9, 6 by running, 3 by passing. Swanton with only 2 first downs. Now, you hear the differences in the yardage, but Liberty Center, with time of possession, was outdone. Liberty had it 11 minutes. Swanton had it for 13 minutes.
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
Purdue in a quarterback to start the second half here, Spike.
Give to Reed off the left side, and workmanlike way pounds his way forward off the left side, and a pickup of about, we'll call it 5 on the play for Brandon Reed. You know, Brandon Reed, 110 yards, Jim, and once he got the feel for the game, his yardage continued to grow. He continued to gain in maturity, if you will, if just a general seeing of the field. All right, Tigers now with the wing package set to the right with Mays. Here is the give to the second back. That's Perchlik. Breaks 1 tackle, stays on his feet, rambles ahead all the way up across the 40 and up to the 43-yard line. A gain of about 9 on the play. On defense, it was for Liberty Center, number 51, Alan Sharp, leading the way with 6 tackles and a sack. Let's see, Derek Hefflinger, Joe Bodenbender, and Brandon Neff each had 3 tackles.
There goes Purdue. Looked like that was to be a passing play, but quarterback number 9, Jordan Purdue, just sort of tucked that under his arm and takes her up for about a 6-7 yards, Spike.
Well, good job there. Like you say, about a 7-yard gain, and now we're seeing the Tigers, you know, they'll continue to make a few cosmetic changes as we go, and what a chance to give Jordan Purdue you know, the opportunity to get in there and mix it up at the quarterback spot. You never know when you may need it. So the Tigers come to the line. Damian Mays will be the wing back on the left. Reed behind center, and now they give to Perchlik. Perchlik in trouble in the backfield. Swanton smelled that one out and perhaps called the right blitz package versus the right or the wrong blocking scheme, and a loss of a couple yards on the play.
Yeah, well, it turned out to be that way. I think Alan Sharp, number 51, was looking for somebody to block there. I believe he was a pulling guard, and all of a sudden, hey, they're in the backfield back here. There's what to do.
Yeah. All right, now the Tigers come to the line of scrimmage. They've got a 3rd down and 5. And give straight ahead. That's Brandon Reed bursting through, breaking a tackle, heading off to the races on the right side at the 30, down inside the 20, and finally hauled down around the 16-yard line. Brandon Reed, a bus in the middle of the pack, continued to battle. Jim, he just blew through people.
He did, Spike. In traffic, he just seemed to be running right with them, but he was in control, and the would-be tacklers were falling all over the place. He's getting a fistful of yards tonight.
Now 35-yard gain for Brandon Reed. He'll take this next handoff. He's off the right side, heading down a straight arm, stays on his feet, twists and turns, and spins down near the goal line. We're going to call it a gain of about 15 yards on the play, and another Tiger first down.
All right, that Tiger offensive line there, Spike, is just plain destroying the Bulldog defenders right now. Yeah,
it's really starting to take evidence here that the Tigers' tenacity and their ability to sustain their game into the 3rd and 4th quarters.
Touchdown.
And to give to Perchlik off the left side, bounding his way inside for the Liberty Center. Tiger touchdown! 34-7, and Liberty Center now beginning to pull away as they show their prominence.
Okay, a lot of clean shirts going in right now there, Spike. 68's in there. That's, well, we don't have a number for that fella.
60. It might be number 60, Sean Slee.
Well, 68 it is. He's going to kick for us. So if he makes this kick, then he deserves a spot in the program next week, Spike.
All right, Hefflinger will do the hold. Snap good, hold good, set good. Kick is up. And good. So the unknown soldier, number 68, drives it through.
Could that be Leighton Chambers there?
Possibly in a different, it didn't look like Leighton, but.
No. Well.
Chambers, yeah, it is Chambers.
Well, Jack Kruger is giving Chambers credit for doing it, so I guess we will too, Spike.
All right, that makes the score 35-7. As we'll just call a timeout right here. It was, so I guess that's what we'll go with. Uh-huh. All right, McClory getting set to kick. End over end. It's going to wobble up the. Uh-oh, they're going to rule his knee hit.
I think,
did it?
Yeah, I think so, Spike. He kind of bent over in order to make a sure catch, and if you touch that knee to the grass, they whistle her dead.
Jimmy, I've mentioned it before on our TV5 broadcast, but I think that might be one of those rules that somewhat antiquated. If there's nobody around, you know, let the play go.
Yeah.
I think it does nothing.
Okay, still looks like pretty much the Tigers frontliners out there playing defense here, at least for this series.
All right, we got Mays and Purdue out here wide on the two wideouts to the Liberty Center side. They're going to run a little quarterback keeper. Yeah, he faked a little draw play and then took off around the right side. Not much on the gain.
Andy Speece over there giving credit for making the stop. Quick fill from his secondary position in the secondary.
Quigley, Sharp, and Perchlik also in there. Or in the area, anyhow. So 8:45 clock running. Liberty Center, after a tight game, has finally broke this thing open to lead it 35-7 here early in the second half. 2 wideouts to this side. Low snap. Now they're going to run the option. Now he pitches it outside. A little bit of running room up across the 20. And good tackling there.
Yeah, Bodenbender.
Boy, Bodenbender, a sure tackler.
And also...
was it Irving?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe Danny Irving also...
Yeah, two Tiger defenders on a mission there, Spike. They kind of met. It's like, I'll see you at the ball carrier. And
Yeah.
boy, they thumped him good there, bringing up a 3rd down and 6 for the Bulldogs.
Danny Irving leads Liberty Center in tackles on this young season after 5 games with 35. But that number, you know, doesn't really show the true Tiger effort on defense, as those, I'm sure, are spread around quite evenly.
Oh, yeah.
All right, 2 wideouts to this side, to the short side of the field. They're going to give to that back, trying to go somewhere. Nothing doing. Holy mackerel.
Yeah, 41.
Perchlick eating his lunch in the backfield.
Yeah, Perchlick got him, and then plenty of help from a host of my friends.
Well, that will bring up 4th down, and the Swanton defense, or excuse me, the Swanton offense now pretty well bottled up. We saw evidence that they never completed a pass in that first half, while one was dropped.
Yeah, Swanton was very tough and pretty game there in that first half, Spike. But if you check the scoreboard, they were only able to hang up 1 touchdown.
Low snap, but the good recovery by the punter, and that's going to go right into Irving's hands. Cuts it straight ahead now, breaks the tackle, spins, battles through another one. Look at that guy fight his way down into Swanton territory.
Yeah, I'm sure Damian Mays was deep on that, and with his record on as a return specialist, was looking to get that, but it just sort of bounced right up into Danny Irving's hands, and he knew what to do with it.
Yes, absolutely. Got himself righted, going north and south, and a punt return of about 16 yards. So Liberty Center will have a 1st down at Montpelier's, Swanton's 39-yard line. Sexton, a running back. Also Bush in there at a running back. Here's Purdue, look, quarterback draw, nothing there, bounces around, twists his way, and finally pops ahead to about the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, well, Coach probably wonders why he didn't stay in the pocket and try to make a pass on that play, but you know, he hasn't had a lot of reps under center, so what are you supposed to do? He kind of thought, well, doesn't look like there's much here in the secondary, so he wanted to run with it.
Yeah, I think Liberty Center would like to get 1 more score in to get this thing put away. We've got Sexton running back to the left. Bush behind Purdue. Now the give to Bush. Bush, nice cutback against the grain, spins, twist, pounds down inside the 30-yard line.
Good yardage there.
9-yard gain for Bush. You know, there, another ball carrier who's got those instinctive moves, run to daylight.
Yeah. Oh, I believe the Tigers have actually got more depth in some of those spots, Spike, than people really think.
Oh, yeah, this is a pretty good Tiger football team. As soon as, you know, they just have to continue to get better. Now the give off to Bush. Bush makes a great cut. Held by the shirt, breaks it down. He's heading for the corner, finally tripped up and down around the 10-yard line.
Boy, so one Swanton defender found out that a handful of jersey is not going to get it done with that guy.
Boy, oh boy, that is power, strength, and determination, all wrapped up into one ball of fire, Brian Bush.
Yeah, well, he sees Brandon Reed having a good time out there, and he says, well, I got that game.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Working at it.
Now, 1st and goal at the 9, a 21-yard gain for Bush. Tigers with a 1 wing package left. Here's the give to Sexton.
Sexton, not much there.
Yep, Sexton with a yard on the play. Maybe we'll bring up 2nd and goal. 5:08 left here in the 3rd period. The Tigers now back into control. They lead 35-7 here on NCTV5.
Yeah, Jordan Seedorf now going out there, number 30.
Yeah, you want to keep your people healthy. You want to keep them on top of their game. Irving now catches a break. You know, one of those goes both ways type. So May sets up at a wing package over here. Sexton on the other side, gives straight ahead to Bush. No, it's a give to Sexton, and he's going to be manhandled down for about a 5-yard loss. That'll go all the way back to around the 15-yard line.
Yeah, the Swanton defenders had good penetration there, Spike, and not much running room for Sexton to get started.
You know, and that's, we see a lot of teams, rather than play straight up defense, you see them trying to run stunts. They try to get inside the Tigers' offensive line and try to bottle things up before they get started. Now the Tigers with 3rd and goal. Here's a give to Bush, makes a cut, spins, stays on his feet, continues to battle and back down inside the 10 to about the 9.
Yeah, that man was hard to stop there. There was plenty of Bulldogs had a clean shot at him. We're trying to wrap him up, but he just would not go down.
Gain of 6 on the play, so it's going to be 4th and goal from the 9-yard line. So we may see Jordan Perdue display some aerial skills here. 3:42 clock running, 3rd quarter. Tigers up 35-7. So 4th and goal. We've got Sexton on the right, Bush on the left. Straight drop for Perdue. He looks, he fires. Caught! Touchdown!
Number 30 there.
80.
Jordan Seedorf.
Yep, Jordan Seedorf, number 30. What a catch, Jim.
Oh, yeah.
And Perdue put it right on the money.
Yeah, he did exactly that, Spike. He kind of just stepped forward and just threw a dart right where it had to be and didn't have a whole lot of end zone to work with as Jordan Seedorf was working his way toward the edge of the end zone. But
all right, Bush the snapper. Number 72, Jordan Raines in there as one of the guards. The shot, the kick is up. And it splits the uprights again.
That'd be Leighton Chambers again.
You know, Chambers getting a little more oomph into his kicks, and that's what the Tigers need out of him, is to be able to not just drop it over the top, but with some power in that leg.
Yeah, well, somebody said there was scouts from the Big Ten here kind of getting an eye full of the Bulldog place kicker there at halftime. He was banging some real sweet field goals with plenty of leg for even 50-yarders. So, wow. Maybe freshman Leighton Chambers says, hey, give me a little time and a few reps on the workout machine, and I can do that.
All right, score stands now. Liberty Center 42 and Swanton 7. 3:27 left here in the 3rd period.
That was a good
set to go here. McClory, low line bounding kick. That's taken at the 27.
They're saying he touched his knee there.
Well, pretty close call. That one I may tend to agree with. So, Swanton has it. The Tiger defense really has shown well tonight. Swanton yet to complete a pass, and they haven't really been able, although they did run for about 90 yards, about 4 yards a carry. Still nothing, the big breakaway play.
Yeah, that's a good observation, Spike. The Tiger offense kind of sputtered there in the early goings of the game, but the defense has always been there.
All right, now with the two wide outs to the far side. And gives straight ahead. No, the quarterback on a keeper, and the Tigers continue to get into the backfield.
I think they faked their own blockers out on that play there.
Sharp, Perchlik, Quigley.
Yeah, we'll take that kind of offensive play anytime. They show the ball to everybody, you throw her way up in the air and bring her down. You take it, I got it. Everybody sees it, so you just go ahead and hit both those guys, and you got her covered.
I wonder, Swanton's offense, they put 2 wide receivers out there relatively close together. I mean, that's fine, but there's nobody on the other. Now they spread out a guy to either side of the field. But that's such an unbalanced offensive attack. I wonder how effective.
Well, his line isn't giving him a whole lot of time up there either.
Might
have been a loose ball even.
Irving came from his safety spot on a blitz and
Yeah, they're going to call him down, whatever.
nearly causes a
But
fumble.
Spike, that should be 4th down and 11, 12 yards to go here. So
Quigley and Irving both down at the bottom of the pile.
Well, just a 3rd down. I thought Chera was 4th down.
All right, well, the clock continues to run. 2:05 here in the 3rd period. Bulldogs with a 3rd down and 11. Into the game for Liberty Center, number 81, Peter Perchlik is one of the defenders. Now
that ball's
that
on the
is going
ground.
to be in. Wow.
Boy, Chad McClory back there, and also Andy Spees almost covered the ball and the I don't know whether that's quarterback or what, but boy, dangerous live ball at that spot on the field. Now it's 4th down and a half mile.
Yeah, 4th and we'll call it 22 yards. The Bulldogs probably has little choice but to punt the ball away. Standing back at his 45-yard line for perhaps his final return of the night is Damian Mays. High wobbler, and that's going to come up short around the 50. Takes a Liberty Center roll coming the other way. It bounces right up into Irving's hands. Twists and turns, tries to find running room, and picks his way forward about 8 yards. Boy, Jim, that was an accident. They tell you to get clear out of the area when it takes a favorable bounce backwards, and that time Irving, even if he was trying, the ball came right up into his breadbasket.
Yeah, that's about it. I don't think he was actually trying to field that ball, but if it's going to come up and bite you, then don't be afraid of it. And he made something good happen out of it there for the Tigers.
Yeah,
but I don't think the coaches, you know, when they get to reviewing things, you don't do that because the percentages aren't always come up shining for you.
All right. Bush and Sexton, the running backs. Now coming in motion is Mays. Now straight ahead to Bush. Bush gets inside the 40, gain of a couple on the play.
You know, Spike pretty much are leaving the Tiger regulars in there, and I can understand that. This is still a little time left in the 3rd quarter, and they want to get Jordan Perdue some reps with this first team offense. Also, it was said several times that the Tigers wanted to work on the offensive line play.
Yeah.
So I guess, you know, this is practice for him here.
All right, now Mays in motion the other way, gets straight ahead to Bush. Bush battles forward, gets down inside the 35-yard line, a gain of about 4 on the play. And the Tigers steadily advancing the football. Now they'll come up with a 3rd down and a short 5 yards to go. Yep.
I'm going to say that's going to kill the quarter here, Spike.
Yep. All right. We'll call it a gain of 5 anyway. The ball, it's going to be 3rd down and a long 4, we'll put it. Tigers need to get the ball just across the 31-yard line. So, with the 3rd quarter break, we'll call a timeout. Tigers lead it 42-7. All right. Start of the 4th quarter. Liberty Center with the ball at the 35-yard line.
Mishandle on the snap there, Spike. Jordan Perdue had nothing but to just get down on that.
Oh, on the exchange.
Yeah, they never got a good handle on that ball right center exchange.
Now, that brings up an interesting point. That's one of those things a center and a quarterback take a lot of pride in. Do you remember any bad snaps, any bad exchanges between
Stacy?
Brown and Stacy?
No, I cannot. Well, those are the kind of kinks you try to work out, and even though this game's out of reach for the Bulldogs, the Tigers still want to practice there.
All right, wingback set to the left. Here's Perdue, looks, he's got Mays. Great catch down there at the 25-yard line. Perdue lays it right on a dime, and Mays hauls it in over his shoulder.
Boy,
what a grab.
That's just good confidence builder for Jordan Perdue. You know, Patrick Brown's done a yeoman job in there at quarterback and so forth, but what happens if an injury or something untoward, and here Jordan Perdue's showing that, yep, I can lead this Tiger offense, and he's doing a fine job now, Spike.
Yep, 17-yard gain. Damian Mays with a great catch and a defender draped all over, and now the give up inside. And Sexton, while still banging away, stays on his feet, gets all the way down to around the 7. That'll be another Tiger first down.
Number 40 now going in there. That would be Jerry Holtgreave coming in for Damian Mays.
11:05 remaining here in the ball game. The Tigers only led 14-7 with about 4 minutes left in the second quarter, and it's been all Liberty Center ever since.
Yeah, number 30, Jordan Seedorf out there at left end.
Uh-oh, pitch to Bush. Bush cuts 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's another Liberty Center Tiger touchdown!
Yeah, number 59, Gene Zinn making a nice screen block down there when it really counted, and other Tigers as well. So that's putting some more points on the board, Spike.
Yeah, Clapp in there on the line, of course. And we don't too often mention the center, number 62, Brandon Stacy. What a warrior. The kid's only a junior, and he's played 2 full seasons at center. And I don't believe he's very seldom missed a play.
Even with a turf toe, I might add.
Yes. All right, good hold. Kick is up.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel, I'm telling you. Leighton Chambers, and there they go! The men in flash!
Well, as long as they're all men, we're okay on
Well, they aren't all quite all men, Jim. We've got the one straggler with the orange top on.
Mike, I don't know.
Or so we think.
I don't know. TV5's liable to get themselves censored if
Yeah,
they
that
get
top may have been painted for all I know.
that's true.
Anyway, Brandon Chambers with a strong leg drives it through the uprights. You know, and he's an entirely different kicker. Here they come again!
Well, camera guy's on it. Yeah, there is a young lady out there, but it looks like she's got a T-shirt on, so that's okay. Well, they have a good time, Spike.
Oh, yeah.
Wait till the weather gets cold.
Yeah, oh, they'll be back. They'll be back.
But deep in the playoffs, I want to see those guys when it's snowing out, and blowing, and raining, and cold.
Boy, I tell you what, the Tiger offensive line continues to work hard, opening a huge hole for Bush. And Bush is a runner that has moves. He knows when to cut. He has the sense, the agility, and the ability. But the kid is a north and south runner. First and foremost, he is a north and south runner. He has that drive, that instinct. He's not afraid to put his head down and get the extra couple.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid can carry the mail.
Spike, I think it can be said that Tigers have got backs they haven't even used yet.
Oh, yeah.
They put them out there and they aren't even in the program.
Wow, here we go again. A tremendous kick all the way down to the 1 yard line. McClory really catching his stride tonight. So the ball for at least the third time tonight will come back to the, come out to the 20. Now I think, Jim, with 10.5 to go, we'll see a lot of, start to see some new faces being worked in.
Drew Kiefer, number 11's out there.
Only a sophomore.
81, Peter Pertzlick is out there.
And number 80 is a DB, Tyler Johnson, 6'3", 163 pounds.
Yeah.
Off the left side, and a good tackle.
56. Is that 56 getting up here?
Zinn, 59.
Oh, all right.
Boy, he got him just in the nick of time, too, right around the ankles, or he was off to a bigger gain.
Yep.
So, 49-7, Liberty Center. 10:25 left here in the fourth quarter. The Tigers back on defense.
I believe 22's playing safety now for the Tigers. Tyler Armstrong.
Yep, Tyler, a senior, and getting some welcome playing time.
55, double nickels out there.
Yes.
No, 59, 59.
Yep.
And he makes a tackle. 59 was in on a tackle. Also, who is that guy? 79. Ben Glassford. Yes, sir. Another big, strong sophomore there.
Oh, yeah, I like this size. 5'10", 210 pounds. That's fire hydrant material there. Only a sophomore.
Yeah,
that may be a name that we'll hear from in the future.
Ben Glassford.
Well, clock running, 9:33 to go. Swanton with a wide out to either side, running out of the I formation. Quarterback Gustafson under center now keeps it on the option. He's got some running room, Jim.
Whoa.
This could be dangerous.
Yeah.
Gustafson from the 24-yard line is going to go all the way for a Swanton Bulldog touchdown. 9:14 to go. Gustafson on a 76-yard burn.
Yeah, a lot of the Tigers went for that fake, myself included. On that fake line plunge, that's where I thought the ball was going, Spike, but no, sir. Quarterback pulled it out and rolled around to his left and had plenty of running room.
Yep. Well, and Swanton wants to have a little fun, too. So you accept it as you go. Tigers with primarily, working their new players in there. So now we'll get a chance to see the abilities of this Swanton kicker. The last time, he drilled it all the way to 109 in the air.
Yeah, he did. I think he...
Oh, my, Jimmy.
Yeah.
He took a little off of that, only went as far as the fence surrounding the football field. But that's the kind of kick that you end up playing football on Saturdays with.
Yeah, well, Tom Fry pointed out that there was a couple Big Ten scouts in attendance tonight just exactly for that reason, to observe this kicker that they'd heard a lot about from Swanton. And he put on a pretty good show out there. It wasn't in game conditions, but truly he's got the leg, and recruiters, if they think the leg's there, well, then they can make the rest of it work. All right, they needed an 11th player out there, Spike, so big number Neff runs out there, and now the Tigers' receiving team is complete.
All right, Tigers up near the line of scrimmage suspecting something, but Swanton, perhaps with a show of professionalism, they drop back and they'll kick it away. That is going to come down to Mays down around the 12-yard line. Mays straight ahead, stays on his feet and battles through a couple of tackles, gets up near the 30-yard line.
All right, now we go. 60 going in there.
That's Slee.
52, Roy Tibbetts.
Number 56, Danny Leatherman.
All right, Drew Kiefer going out there, number 11. Number 12, Michael Poignan.
Yep, Poignan.
Michael Poignan is going to...
the center, what did we get? 52, I believe.
I
Roy
believe
Poignan
is the quarterback, number 12.
Yeah, he was in there the other night. Or the other day. Damian Mays with about 6 going around the right end.
You know what? One would say, what's Damian Mays doing out there?
Well, I think he's in there getting a little action at running back. That's he's been relegated or delegated, if you will, to a wing back.
Yeah, number 60,
67.
Sean Slee sprinting off.
Ethan Weaker's in there for the Tigers, number 67. Well, 2nd and 4 from the 35, deep pitch. Here's Mays trying to get outside behind a great block by Sexton. And Mays all the way up across the 50, finally hauled down at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, 42 out there, that's Casey Kaiser. 72 out there, Jordan Raines.
73, Alex Hessen getting some action for Liberty Center.
Yeah, and a lot of action because it's like about 8.5 minutes to go, Spike. So these guys are getting some game experience here.
All right, from the 47-yard line with 8.5 to go, gives straight ahead. No, it's a keeper by Poignan, stays on his feet, rambles, drives, and gets down inside the 45, down around the 42-yard line. Pickup of about 6 on the play.
Spike, I happen to watch number 65, Jacob Clapp, on that play, and I'm telling you, he made 2 good blocks. He just fired out and was hitting some people, and the first guy he hit got out of the way, so he hit somebody else, just driving into that secondary. Good second effort by Jacob Clapp.
Yeah, Kyler Miller, also a backup quarterback, hasn't seen action for a while.
Yeah, but he's kind of dinged up a little bit.
He's beat up a little bit.
Yeah, he's got a kind of a sore wing right now.
All right, Poignan under center, gives straight ahead. Boy, look at that Tiger drive push off that line, and they pick up about 3 of the 4 they need.
Yeah, 52 was instrumental in that push there. That'd be Roy Tibbetts, another
Casey
sophomore.
Kaiser, I believe, carried the ball.
22.
22, not 42, excuse me.
Yeah, Tyler the Armstrong there.
All right, wing back right set for Liberty Center. Gives straight ahead. And wow.
Yeah.
Boy, if they give Armstrong his forward progress, that is enough for a first down. But, well, we'll wait and see. Oh, no, Tigers are going to get, well, almost a left-footed spot, but it's going to be a little short. 4th down. Clock continues to run with 6:50 to go in the game.
Number 56, Dan Leatherman, fired up out there, Spike. Got a good last name going for him.
Yeah, but there probably isn't any relation, is it?
Yeah.
All right, wing right set, 4th and 1. Here's the give coming the other way to Sexton. He's got room, breaks one, and he's into the seam, down at the 20, at the 10, at the 5, and he's just short of the end zone. What a burst of speed by Sean Sexton.
I guess so, Spike. He had some room there. There was some nice.
Bush.
Yeah.
What was that?
I didn't catch that.
Really? All right, here we go. Back to the action after the timeout. Tigers knocking on the door. Here is the power straight ahead.
Should work.
I don't believe they got in. No, the referee on this near sideline pointing to the ground.
Jacob Clapp and Dan Leatherman were trying to open a hole, but somehow or other the running back didn't get right on those guys' back, Spike.
Well, good push. You know, we're still looking at primarily that first defensive unit of the Swanton Bulldogs. So now the Tigers come to the line of scrimmage. Sexton on the left. Here's a little bit of a bobble. And Poignan trying to push his way in. We've got a real scrum out there. This is rugby at its finest.
I think so.
And the Tigers still didn't manage to get in. A little bit of a bobble there. And that took away the intended play. Now, Liberty Center faced with a 3rd and 1. Swanton with 2 big stops on the interior. Now maybe Liberty Center fakes it into the line and they kind of run some sort of a bootleg, Jimmy, out of this.
Oh, I don't know. The ball's nuzzled right up to the goal line. You'd think they could push it in there.
You think they could. Now we'll see. Poignan comes to the line under center. Single setback. He's leaning. No, they're going to go the other way to dive inside, and that may be good. It is. It's a Tiger touchdown, Jimmy. Who got the
Sexton, number 2, Sean Sexton there. He was running off the right side. They tried left side there behind Clapp and Leatherman a couple times, and this time they decided to go off the right side, and I am not sure who the guys were over there. 73 was one of them. That would be Alex Hessen. On the one side there.
Now the Tigers are going to go for their 4th consecutive extra point kick. Bush the center. Hefflinger the holder. Good snap, good hold, good set down. Kick is up and drives through. And Jim, I can't get over it. This is an entirely new kicker.
Yeah.
Same body, but different number, different abilities.
I think that's why they gave that man a different number. He was going to come out incognito and see how this developed, and I'll tell you, he's been booming the Spike.
Yes.
Leighton Chambers.
Yeah, beautiful kicks right down the heart of the pipe. So now with 5:02 to go, Liberty Center ups their mounting lead here on homecoming night. The Queen and her court in attendance, viewing this game from beautiful perch there at the 50-yard line. And they enjoying this 56-14 Liberty Center Tiger lead.
How many
Of the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
All right. As Jimmy Leatherman estimated, nearly 30 Tiger cheerleaders out there tonight in this homecoming. Kick bounding around by McClory, taken down there at about the 7-yard line. Looks to go. Bodenbender on a hit, also comes boring in from the other side.
Now, also number 40 got his
Yes,
licks out there. Jerry Holtgreave.
Yeah, nice hit by Holtgrave coming in from the other side. Great double team for Liberty Center. So 4:56 left. Swanton will have the ball starting at their own 23. All right.
Ron Bebone. How do you say that, Spike? Is that Bebone?
Baby-owned, Jimmy.
All right.
That's what we'll call it.
He's out there.
Yep, Drew Kiefer, number 11, is a defensive back.
Number 78, big fella, Caleb Overmeyer, 299
Yes.
East African Somalis on the weight chart there, Spike.
Number 21, Tyler Schwartzlander, comes off as the Tigers reset. Also on the field is Kyle Stacy. So Swanton out of the I formation, give to the second back, and they drive it to attempt to drive it off the left side, and the Tiger defense stiffens up considerably. Spiess in there yanks the ball away after the whistle. So the Tigers, good defense, hold them to about 1.5 yards.
Yeah.
On Baby-owned, number 61.
Yeah, Jake Hensley.
Peter Perchlik, 81.
Jake Hensley out there having something to say about it. You know, Caleb Overmeyer fought off a 2-time block that last play, Spike. Now, he didn't make the play, but he was doing what he could, and he knew what it was like to get 2-time because he had 2 guys working on him.
Yeah, well, and that just helps draw some of the offense away from somebody else. So now wide out to either side out of the backfield I formation. Give to the second back, worming his way ahead. Let's see. First hit made by number 15.
79.
Kyle Stacy.
Caleb got in on that. He fired out low and hard and, was blocked, but stayed alive, made a good play there on the tackle.
All right, now we've got a timeout on the field, another injured Bulldog. You know, Swanton came in here, and they had suffered some injuries. For their team to take those kind of injuries really has crippled them. But they really give the Tigers a battle for most of the full 2 periods there until finally Liberty Center on the big punt return by Mays of 58 yards.
Yeah, about the last 5 minutes of the first half, the Tigers' offense really got kicked in gear. I know, Spike, they gave a game effort and was doing pretty good, but Tiger defense always kind of measured up. Spike, we've got some pretty good-sized fellas out there right now.
Oh, boy.
Caleb Overmeyer there, and also number 72, Jordan Raines. Some formidable football players.
All right, 3rd and 4. They give it off the left side and hit and brought down by a couple of Tigers. Number 28.
36.
Yep.
28 would be Josh Seedorf, and 36, let's make that Jake the Hensley.
All right, that's going to be just short of a first down. So Swanton, with 3:25 left in the game, really have nothing to lose, and they're lining up like they're going to go for it on 4th and about 6 inches to go. Number 61, let's make sure we've got all these fellas in there. Ron Baby-owned.
Yeah. Well, Swanton's got their reserves in too, Spike.
Yeah. Well, 2 wide outs to the far side, give to the first back, and that's going to be enough for a first down. Good tackle, though.
Yeah.
For holding it to a short gain. And as they sort through, we'll get that number.
No, he's hiding over there. 60.
I believe that's our man, Mr. Baby-owned.
Okay. 61.
Yep.
I don't know.
First down or second.
And our crack football sports editor, Tom Fry, has informed us that is the first down for Swanton in the second half. And you know they only had 2 in the first half, according to the unofficial stats. So, 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line, their own 35. The Bulldogs have it. Clock 2:28 running. Uh-oh, mix up in the backfield. Tigers swarm all over that.
Yeah, 61
no
again, Baby-owned. And 36, Jake the Hensley. All right, 52 rolling out there now, Spike. That'd be Roy Tibbetts. Wasn't there a baseball player named Roy?
Yeah. Well, Roy, somebody in Field of Dreams or whatever they call that.
Oh, that's it.
Where was that? Maybe that was another baseball movie. I don't know.
Caleb Overmeyer getting some instruction from Tiger coach Upel over there on just how to conduct activities out there.
Boy, a big mix up there, not much doing. You know, we very seldom ever mention the coaches, and when we do, of course, Coach Lindgren usually gets the attention, whether it's good or even bad, maybe from some of the fans down through the years. But regardless, you take a guy like Mr. Upel. Now, that fella's done quite a job. You look at the Tigers' lines, offensive and defensive lines down through the years, and maybe don't have the biggest players, but we've got the hardest hittingest and with the most push, the best technique, you may say.
Yeah, well, they're well schooled, Spike. There's no question about that. It's not from lack of effort on the coach's part. And by golly, we may not be the biggest in size, but we know how to do it.
Yeah, and Casey Moeller taking over at the defensive coordinator spot, and look at the job he's done. We had the little bit of a flux there with Evergreen in the first half, and you know, the Henrys getting those 2 late scores. But other than that, the Liberty Center has really played some tremendous defensive football.
Yeah, well, just the whole team from special teams all the way through the offense and defense and whatever else, Spike. This Tiger 2007 edition really means business.
Yeah, and there are just so many more of the coaches. Chris Riggy, you know, does a great job as kind of the unsung offensive coordinator. And that'll be it. The clock has finally ran out here in Liberty Center. It's homecoming night, and the Tigers have a lot to celebrate, Jimmy. They win it 56-14, but let's give Swanton some credit in that first half. They gave the Tigers all they had and more, and that pushed the Tigers to the supposed limit there for a while.
Yeah, exactly, and I think the Tigers can feel good about this game. I'm sure they'll break down the films and say, well, this could have been better, that could have been better, but think, Spike, they found a running back or 2 or 3 that they thought was there but was not tested quite and got lots of yards. That worked well for them. They found another quarterback, Jordan Purdue. Hadn't heard from him almost from the first game, and he showed that he's capable out there. And I believe that offensive line got back on track, making good blocks and executing their game plans to a better and a higher level.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the Tigers needed this week to kind of, after a Patrick Henry and Wasion back-to-back, they kind of get a chance to regroup. Now, next week, Liberty Center travels to Northwood to play the Cardinal Stritch. Cardinals, there you go.
Yeah.
So, and next week, again, Jake Elling with another week off next week, at least one more week off with that bad thumb. And so I think we'll see more of the same as Liberty Center maybe tries to fine-tune the air game. They keep a lot of people in and out of the lineup, keep people fresh. As then after that, then Liberty settles into that tough run with
stretch run.
Yes, with Brian, an improving an improving team in the NWAL. They've got a good quarterback, and of course Delta absolutely always a tough team here in the last several years. And needless to say, Archibald, led by their tremendous quarterback, perhaps the most impactful player in the entire area.
Gene Gehrig
yes.
Lighting up the scoreboard in a big way.
Oh, yeah.
No question about it.
So the Tigers with a lot of football, a lot of good, tough football in front of them as things continue to get sorted out as we now begin to head the stretch.
Yeah, but what a good evening to build on that record and find out some things and develop a little more depth. We commented on that during the game, Spike. You made mention that, Jacob Clapp hadn't played a whole lot at various times, and some others. And
yes.
Boy, they got in there and just showed, they can be counted on when necessary. And anyway, they got her done. They put up a lot of points on the scoreboard, and we'll look forward to next week against Cardinal Stritch. I don't believe we've ever played those fellas, have we?
We scrimmaged them years ago, but I don't think we've ever played them on a regular basis.
Well, we'll give them a taste of Liberty Center Tiger football next week.
All right, now the Tigers with their traditional cheer. And again, breakdown.
I suppose only the porch coaches might know what they're actually saying, Spike. What about that?
That's even deeper than the porch coaches. All right. A well-celebrated victory by the Tigers there. They've had their team prayer at midfield. They've had their breakdown cheer. And that'll wrap it up for us here in Liberty Center. Your final score one more time, it was Liberty Center 56, Swanton 14. The Tigers moved to 5-1 overall, 4-1 in the NWOAL. So for my man on the video cam, the always blusterous, illustrious, and rambunctious Landis Utopia Burmeister, and of course my partner for the last 49 years, good old Jimmy Leatherman. This is old Spiker, one of the voices of the Liberty Center Tigers, saying good night and good homecoming Tiger sports.